Grand African Tales TV. Please watch, comment, like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the green hills of Ghana, there lived a young woman named Abena. Abena was born deaf, unable to hear the joyful sounds of the world around her. But what she lacked in hearing, she made up for with an extraordinary gift, a voice that could enchant anyone who listened. From a young age, Abena discovered her talent for singing. Though she could not hear her own voice, she could feel the vibrations in her chest and throat as she hummed and sang. Her mother, Akosua, noticed Abena's gift and encouraged her to nurture it. Akosua taught Abena to feel the rhythm of music through the beat of drums and the sway of dancing bodies. As Abena grew older, her voice only became more beautiful. She would sing as she worked in the fields, her melodic tones floating across the village and captivating all who heard. People would stop their daily tasks just to listen, marveling at the deaf girl with the voice of an angel. One day, a traveling musician named Kofi passed through the village. Kofi was known throughout the land for his skill with the kora, a traditional West African instrument. As he played in the village square, Abena watched in fascination, feeling the vibrations of the strings through the ground beneath her feet. Inspired, Abena began to sing along with Kofi's playing. Her voice intertwined with the notes of the kora, creating a harmony so enchanting that the entire village was entranced. Kofi was amazed by Abena's talent and invited her to join him on his travels, sharing her gift with the world. Abena was thrilled at the opportunity but hesitated to leave her mother and her village behind. Akosua, seeing the joy and purpose that singing brought to her daughter's life, encouraged Abena to follow her dreams. With a tearful embrace, Abena bid farewell to her mother and set off on a journey that would change her life forever. Kofi and Abena traveled from village to village, their music preceding them like a magical herald. Word spread of the deaf girl with the voice of gold, and people would gather from far and wide to hear her sing. Abena's songs told stories of love, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit. Her voice had the power to heal broken hearts and inspire hope in the most downtrodden of souls. As their fame grew, Kofi and Abena were invited to perform at the court of the great king of the Ashanti people. The king, Kofi, was known for his love of music and his discerning ear. Abena was nervous to perform before such a powerful ruler, but Kofi reassured her, reminding her of the power of her voice. When they arrived at the king's palace, they were greeted with great fanfare. The court was adorned with gold and colorful textiles, and the air was thick with anticipation. Abena and Kofi took their places before the king and began to perform. As Abena sang, the court fell silent, entranced by her voice. Even the king, who had held countless musicians in his time, was moved to tears. When the song ended, the king rose to his feet and declared Abena the greatest singer in all the land. From that day forward, Abena and Kofi were welcomed at the king's court whenever they passed through the Ashanti kingdom. They performed for nobles and commoners alike, spreading joy and wonder wherever they went. But not everyone was happy with Abena's success. A jealous musician named Yo, who had once been the king's favorite, grew resentful of Abena's talent and the attention she received. Yo began to spread rumors about Abena, claiming that she was a witch who used dark magic to enchant her audiences. At first, Abena and Kofi paid no heed to the rumors, focusing instead on their music and the joy it brought to others. But as the whispers grew louder and more insistent, people began to look at Abena with suspicion and fear. Abena fell into despair, her once luminous spirit dimmed by the weight of false accusations. But Kofi refused to let Abena's talent be extinguished by the jealousy of others. He formulated a plan to clear Abena's name and expose Yor for the deceitful charlatan he was. Late one night, while the court slept, Kofi crept into the palace and planted a set of enchanted drums outside of Yor's chambers. These drums, crafted by a powerful witch doctor, would compel anyone who held their beat to speak the truth. The next morning, as the court gathered for the daily audience with the king, Kofi began to play the enchanted drums. The sound was unlike anything the court had ever heard before, pulsing and hypnotic. As the rhythm filled the air, Yor burst forth from his chambers, unable to resist the drum's magical pull. Before the king and all the gathered courtiers, Yor began to dance and sing, the truth pouring out of him like water from a fountain. He confessed to his jealousy of Abena and his lies about her witchcraft. He revealed the depths of his own deceit and begged the king for forgiveness. The king, enraged by Yor's treachery, immediately expelled him from the court and stripped him of his titles and possessions. Turning to Abena, the king apologized for ever doubting her and reaffirmed her place as the greatest singer in the land. Abena, her spirit restored by the truth, embraced Kofi and thanked him for his unwavering faith in her. Together, they continued their travels, spreading music and joy to all who would listen. Yet even as they celebrated their triumph, a new challenge loomed on the horizon. In a far-off kingdom, a powerful sorcerer named Kwado had heard of Abena's gift and grown jealous. Kwado was known for his ability to steal the voices of great singers, adding their power to his own. He set out for the Ashanti kingdom, determined to make Abena's voice his own. As Kwado drew nearer to the Ashanti lands, strange things began to happen. Birds fell silent in the trees, and the wind carried an eerie chill. Abena, attuned to the vibrations of the world around her, sensed a growing unease but could not place its source. One night, as Abena and Kofi slept in a village on the outskirts of the kingdom, Kwado crept into their hut, his dark magic allowing him to move unseen and unheard. He loomed over Abena's sleeping form, ready to steal her voice and claim it for his own. But as he began to chant his wicked spell, Kofi, ever alert, leaped from his bed and tackled the sorcerer. The two men grappled on the floor of the hut, Kwado's magic crackling in the air around them. Abena, startled awake by the commotion, watched in horror as her beloved Kofi fought for both of their lives. Kofi, though strong and brave, was no match for Kwado's dark magic. The sorcerer blasted him with a bolt of eldritch energy, sending Kofi flying across the hut. Abena, seeing the man she loved hot and helpless, felt something stir within her. She began to sing, her voice rising above the din of battle. But this was no ordinary song. As the notes left her lips, they began to glow with a brilliant golden light. The light grew brighter and brighter until it filled the entire hut, blinding Kwado and forcing him to shield his eyes. Abena's voice, imbued with a power beyond understanding, wrapped around Kwado like chains, binding his magic and rendering him helpless. The sorcerer screamed in rage and terror as he felt his power drain away, sucked into the vortex of Abena's song. When the song ended, Kwado was nothing more than a withered husk, his magic and his life force drained away by the power of Abena's voice. Kofi, battered but alive, stared at Abena in wonder, realizing that her gift was far greater than either of them had ever imagined. News of Abena's triumph over the sorcerer spread like wildfire throughout the Ashanti kingdom and beyond. People spoke of the deaf girl whose voice could vanquish evil and bring light to the darkest of places. Abena found herself hailed as a hero, her gift now recognized as a blessing from the gods. But for Abena, the greatest reward was the love and support of her village, her mother, and her beloved Kofi. She continued to sing, her voice a beacon of hope and joy for all who heard it. And though she could not hear the applause and cheers that followed her performances, she could feel the love and appreciation that flowed from the hearts of her listeners. As the years passed, Abena and Kofi's love only grew stronger, their bond forged by the trials they had faced together. They married in a joyous ceremony attended by people from all over the Ashanti kingdom and beyond, their union blessed by the king himself. Abena continued to sing, her voice only growing more beautiful with age. She and Kofi had children of their own, and she passed on her love of music to them, teaching them to feel the rhythm of the world in their bones just as her mother had taught her. And though Abena faced many challenges in her life, from the prejudice of those who misunderstood her deafness to the jealousy of those who envied her gift, she never lost her joy or her love for music. She knew that her voice was a gift from the gods, meant to be shared with the world. So Abena sang, and the world listened, and for a brief, shining moment, all was right and good. But little did Abena know that her greatest challenge was yet to come, a challenge that would test the limits of her gift and the strength of her spirit. For in a distant land, a new threat was rising, a threat that would not only endanger Abena and all she held dear but the very fate of music itself. And as the storm clouds gathered on the horizon, Abena could only hope that her voice, and the love and courage of those who stood with her, would be enough to see them through the darkness ahead. As the story continues, what role will the gods, who have already shown their favor to Abena, play in the trials to come? Will they continue to bless her, or will their silence be deafening when she needs them the most? Join us for part 2 of The Tale of a Deaf Beautiful Singer, where these questions and more will be answered in a story that will leave you spellbound, moved, and forever in the awe of the transformative power of music. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.